What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Steven Dumeng here to talk some UFC 303 main card predictions. Let's get right to it. Opening up the show, the main card that is, it will be Ian Garry, 14-0, 7-0 in the UFC, facing off with Michael Venom Page, who was 1-0, coming off a unanimous decision victory over Kevin Holland a few months ago. And it is no surprise what Michael Venom Page will be looking to do. He'll be looking to add another highlight reel knockout to his already ridiculous highlight reel. And let me tell you, he's one of the most explosive, one of the most dynamic knockout artists in the game, in MMA period, in my opinion. And I think he can knock anyone out at 170. But I don't think Ian Garry is going to give him a chance to do so. I do not see Garry standing banging. I think he's going to look to close the distance, get those takedowns, bring this fight to the ground, and nullify the strikes of Michael Venom Page on the feet. And I think that's what we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going with Ian Garry by decision, a unanimous decision win. I know his last fight against Jeff Neal was quite lukewarm, but I do think him being the younger fighter, he's also extremely close to a title shot. I think it's going to play into, and also, like I said, I can't blame him. I don't see him looking to stand and trade with Michael Page. So I think it's going to be a very defensive, controlling fight, wrestling heavy, and Ian Garry will walk away with a unanimous decision win. Moving on, we have women in action. Macy Chiasson, who has been flip-flopping wins over her last 4. Win-loss and a win-loss, or no, it's a loss-win, loss-win. I think about it. And Mayra Bueno Silva, who is coming off a loss to Raquel Pennington. And this should be, I think, I'm going with Bueno Silva by unanimous decision. Macy has alternated those wins and losses, and I think that pattern is going to continue. She did secure a submission in her last fight, but I think the inconsistency is going to show. And I think Bueno Silva, she was on a great run. I mean, unfortunately, her win over Holly Holm was overturned, but she was technically, prior to the Pennington loss, on a 4-fight win streak. And I think she's going to be looking to bounce back, and I think she's going to control and secure a decision win here and get back on track. Moving forward, we have Roman Dolidze, and this is at light heavyweight, some 205 action against Anthony Smith. Dolidze looking to really get back on track. He's sustained 2 losses in a row against, you know, top fighters, in my opinion, in Imavov and Marvin Vettori. However, he's facing off with Anthony Smith, who I always, Sherdog is my database of choice. That is always where I'm, jumping to when you see me jumping back and forth. And, it's been quite inconsistent for Anthony Smith. We're just talking about Macy. He is 2-3 in his last 5, so not the best results. However, coming off a very surprising submission win over Petrino a few months ago, and I think this is I feel like it's a pretty tough fight to call. I don't know which version of Anthony Smith we're gonna get, and I mean, if I recall correctly, I don't think I picked him for his last fight, and he made me eat my words. He proved me wrong. So I think we will get that Anthony Smith. I think he's gonna really continue to shine here. I mean, he looked excellent against Vitor, and Dolidze is unfortunately getting the rough end here. I mean, he did go to the cards his last 2 fights, but I don't see him riding the ship. He did have an impressive 4-fight win streak prior to the 2-loss skid. However, I don't think he's going to be able to. And he's also actually, if I recall correctly here, he's actually bumping up in a weight class here. He is fighting at 205. Anthony is always, or has predominantly fought at 205, if I recall correctly. And I think that actually will play a factor too. So I think I'm going to go with Anthony Smith by submission in the second round. I think the guys are going to really feel each other out, and in the second round, we'll see Smith get the takedown, get the submission, and we will see that tap out. Moving forward, we have Diego Lopez against Brian Ortega, and what will be I think this is going to be the most exciting fight of the night. Ortega has been in some absolute wars. I mean, T-City, man, you know, he's only 33, but I feel like he's been fighting for like 20 years. This is his most consistent he's been in a while. I mean, he hasn't had 2 fights in 1 year in 6 years. Wow. Yeah, not since 2018. In 2018 was the last time he fought twice. Until now, in 2024, he did get that crazy submission over Yair Rodriguez earlier this year. He's going to be looking to make it 2 in a row, and I think he will be able to do so. I mean, this is a tough fight. Diego Lopez is someone that people are touting as a future title holder, and I can't blame them, but he is 5-1 in his last 6 fights, losing to Evlov by decision, who again is another contender. Currently riding a 3-fight win streak. All finishes in the first round. Oh my goodness! I mean, the longest fight he's had in his last 3 fights was 1 minute and 38 seconds. So this guy certainly not getting paid by the hour. My goodness, Ortega has his hands full. I think Lopez is going to come out guns blazing, but I think Ortega, I mean, he's seen it all. He has that championship experience. I do think Ortega will be able to weather the storm and get a late finish, and I'm thinking he will get a 3rd round submission after he has to, like I said, go through the storm. I think Lopez is going to throw everything at him, and then I think Ortega will be the better conditioned fighter the later into the fight, and he will secure a 3rd round submission. I am going Ortega on that one. And last but not least, we have our main event, a rematch. Jiri Prochazka looking to get revenge against the current light heavyweight champion, Alex Pereira. And this one is not, they're not going to need judges. This is going to end, and I think it's going to end in the second round. I do not see this going past the second. I'm going to call it like I see it. I think Alex is going to secure another stoppage over Jiri. The first fight was also a 2nd round stoppage. I don't see things changing here. Jiri is an absolute beast, a very tough fighter. I mean, both these guys are extremely tough, have insane knockout power. There's no submissions here. This is not going to a submission. There's going to be no judges needed, in my opinion. This is going to be settled on the feet with some striking. And I think Alex is going to get the better of Jiri again. Since the Jiri fight, he has knocked out Jamal Hill in the 1st round. Jiri is himself back on the winning track. He defeated Alexander Rakic by TKO in the 2nd round. And I mean, this is about as quick of a turnaround in rematches as we've seen in recent memory, I feel. But in any case, Jiri, Alex will be saving UFC 303 because we all know Conor McGregor was supposed to headline the show, and that is not happening. That said, we will end the show with a bang. Alex Pereira by TKO in the 2nd round. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are my picks. Stay tuned to more content coming forward. Thank you so much, $14.95. Always support them. Check me out. I'll be live posting my thoughts as the fights are dropping on UFC 30. Yeah, UFC 33. We're going back in time. Arlovsky is on the show. Teasing. That said, UFC 303. Enjoy the fights, ladies and gentlemen.